Happy Life Results Book Group.
Hi. I didn't say everybody this time.
Good job.
Hi.
We're glad you could make it. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. There's room on the couch. Come join us.
Come join us. We're in a section called Fun Idea Prompts, and we're on number 3. And it starts, how much about life is simply all in the way you are seeing it? So, how much about life is simply all in the way you are seeing it? Step back from your views and examine how they are affecting what you see. Number 4, regarding goals, ask the following questions.
A, what perspective would best support achieving a goal? B, how have my former views about goals triggered instinctive responses that lead to inaction or failure? C, what view of a goal would support full engagement and consistent action no matter what surprises come along?
And then number 5, your perception of oncoming threats is shaped by the lens as you view it. If you were aware that you were looking through a zoom lens, your sense of impending danger would be much different. You would realize that there is a great distance between you and the threat, which gives you much more reaction time. You could then process the information consciously and decide what to do next. Without that awareness, it would seem you have no time to react and you would go straight to instinctive response. Can you imagine? Imagine you were seeing your biggest stressor through a zoom lens. How would you change your view? How would that change your view? Sorry, can I read that one again?
I'll let you.
Okay. Imagine you were seeing your biggest stressor through a zoom lens. How would that change your view?
Well done. You read that much better the second
Thank
time.
you. Awesome. So those questions. So, like, what perspective would best support you achieving a goal? And how have my former views about goals triggered instinctive responses that lead to inaction or failure? And then what view would support full engagement and consistent action no matter what surprises come along? So these are really good questions to ask, and they're really insightful when you think about if you were using the traditional system and you were getting the results consistently that were not what you wanted, and now you're trying a new way and asking yourself what is the new way and how will it best support me to get the goals that I want. And I kind of want to refer back to it at the beginning when we talked about up in context, the 22 contexts, and how when you read that initially, before you understand everything that you understand right now, because now you're almost to the end, you're into the application stage, you can see how much more possible those things sound. Like
it could seem daunting in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning you're like, how much work would I have to do to be able to even get close to these descriptions of what's possible for an up person, and in 22 different contexts, and maybe you added your own too. So now when you think about that, instead of being daunting, it's more like, okay, yeah, I could have that. It's more like, oh yeah, I could pick that, I could do that, I could have that, and not.
Hopefully that's. I mean, everyone's. You're describing. It's possible at this point. That's what you see it now.
Yes,
yeah.
and what I wanted to say was that I brought you to an idea of how it could feel, and then go back to these questions and say, what would support me?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like take these questions back to look at those 22 and say, all of this.
Yeah, all my former
that.
views and
Nice.
things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if it hasn't changed significantly, then look at those questions and say, it could change based on my answering these questions and being.
And also remember back to the guide, the very first time Stacey talked about the lens, she said, if you're not getting the results you want, first try examining the lens. So this is in the hero stage where we're going into application. Before you start making those changes, she's giving you this opportunity to do exactly that. First, try examining your lens about change. How do you view the changes you want to make? Let's look at that first.
Yeah.
Before you start trying to make the changes.
Yes. And so what would support you to get those changes?
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is such good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then the zoom lens, really quick. The zoom lens is similar to the analogy with the movie screen. it's a real car coming at you, or it's on the movie screen. And so then we're taking this and talking about a zoom lens. Like if you were to look through a camera right now and you were to see a dangerous predator 4 feet away from you, you would respond differently than if it were 2 hillsides over and you were looking at it through binoculars. Like, can you see the difference? That's massive.
Yeah, it's not movie screen, because this is a real, what was it? Predator. This is a saber-toothed tiger. Okay, so maybe if this is a real predator that's coming towards me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head, like an animal.
Yeah.
Not like a bad guy.
It's a real tiger coming towards me. It's a real danger. It's a real threat. However, it's 2 hillsides away. And I would
respond very differently.
Is it a spoiler to say that what Stacy has done is make every potential threat in the world 2 hillsides away, so that she has the time and the emotional space to intentionally choose her actions instead of being in a panic mode.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's one possibility.
Yeah, it's exciting to have that space when that opens up to you, to have that space to act, and when your reactions are reactions that you consciously evaluated in the past and said, this is how I want to.
This is the best way I want to respond to this.
Yeah.
And then you use those instead.
So I'm getting that quick time reaction, but I react in the way that I've already decided would be the best way to handle the situation. And that's really powerful.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
See you guys tomorrow.
All right. See you.